Kim, thank you so much for joining us here at CAIS20. It's delightful to have you here.
I'm honoured to be here.
Your passion is Reboot the Future. Tell me about that and what you hope that achieves in terms of a shift in mindset, if you like.
Well, the Reboot the Future is a very small organization with a big ambition. What we do really is try to plant the seed of the golden rule. And we have a modern version of it, which is treat others and the planet as you wish to be treated. We believe that if more and more people have this in their heart, we will be able to have a mindset change that we need in order to correct the wrongs of the past.
And you believe that golden rule is at the heart of that it's at the heart of humanity, if you like?
It is definitely at the heart of humanity. It's the core of being a human being. It has been taught throughout the millenniums. Started with Confucius and Buddha all around the same time, and Socrates, Plato. They were all teaching this and people have been following this for thousands of years. And Jesus picked it up, and Muhammad, and it's been at the core of the United Nations Constitution as well. So it's historical, it's universal, a universal principle that all people can agree on, no matter which side of the political spectrum you're on. So it's at the root of all religions. So yeah, it is really the core. What I really love about it is that neuroscience has proved that it actually is what brings us happiness when we're thinking about other people.
And you've seen somebody actually really take this on board when they've had a conversation with you and take it into their own life and make real change.
Yes, so I have a friend who is an investor of private equity, and he's a crazy character, very volatile. But when he read about the Golden Rule and learned about it and read the book that I published, he changed his attitude about his company and how to invest. So, for example, he decided to only invest in companies that actually do something positive. He decided to invest in companies that were owned and led by good people. He also decided to share his profit equitably amongst his staff. And well, if he had to let somebody go for some reason, he decided that he would do it in a very kind and helpful way, rather than just putting a pink slip on their desk and saying you're fired.
And those leaders having those epiphanies, if you like, is going to be crucial in a very commercial landscape as well, to bringing a change in terms of perhaps the environment and climate particularly, and sustainable investment.
Yes, you use the word epiphany, which is really what we aim for. We all know about all the problems in the world, but we walk past them, and it's very powerful when you can actually allow yourself to be deeply moved, to really have it go to your heart and say, oh, I've got to do something about this. So I met somebody recently who had an international trading company, goods being shipped all over the world. She was on a dolphin eco trip, and so they had put the microphone down into the water to try to capture where the dolphins were, so they could go and be close to them. But instead of the dolphins' beautiful songs, they heard this horrible, horrendous loud noise. They couldn't see anything around them. Finally, someone noticed way on the horizon, very far away, a cargo ship. So we hear about how troublesome it is for whales and dolphins to communicate with each other nowadays. They have a very sophisticated level of language, but in fact, because of these big cargo ships and ship liners, they are not able to hear each other. So I heard a couple days after I heard the story from her, because she questioned, she thought, oh my gosh, I could be having cargo on that ship. So she felt personally responsible for that. And then we found out that whales, people who have been studying whale language for decades, are noticing that they've had to reduce to very simple songs their messages because of these ships.
But it made her make a real change in her business. And you're hoping that people can take those choices in other ways. For example, the goods you choose to buy, the manufacturers, the goods they choose to create.
Yes.
People can each have their individual impact.
Right, so the golden rule actually makes you stop and think and reflect about what you say and what you do and how it affects others and the planet. And when you can do that and become self-aware of what you're doing, then you can have an epiphany. So it takes courage. First of all, you have to listen to what the other needs. Then you have to have courage, and then you have to act. And that's how it's different than, well, compassion and empathy combined actually equal the golden rule.
It needs to create action.
Yes, yes.
Kim, it's fascinating to talk to you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Oh, well, thank you.